Okay, in this video we're going to focus on the actual function of the ASUS Eee Transformer Prime keyboard dock. Now this is an optional accessory that you can get for your tablet, and it only works with the ASUS Eee Transformer Prime currently. It does not work with the previous version of the ASUS Eee Transformer, although it might work with the upcoming higher res version of the Transformer Prime. The top row here is a bunch of unique buttons that actually control the tablet. You have a full QWERTY keyboard here with directional arrows, and you have some characteristic Android buttons such as your home button, your search button, and your menu button here. And on the bottom of the keyboard you have a trackpad. Now there are areas to click for your right and left mouse click, but it is one smooth piece here. There are no actual individual buttons. You actually just click down on the bottom here for a right or a left click. The actual trackpad itself does not click. It's very thin, and this actually offers several ports that you don't have on the tablet itself, such as a full SD card reader here. Here's the blank. Pull that out. You also have a full USB port here behind this little rubber piece. And on the other side you have your power connector. Now in addition to this being a keyboard, you actually have a battery inside of here. So this, the battery, when it's charged, can actually help boost the power on your tablet and increase the battery power on your device. It says it's rated up to 18 hours of battery life. Now up top here you actually have where you link in your tablet. And if you look in here, there's two areas here where it actually links into the device itself, and there where your dock connector is. I don't know if you can actually see it on the video here. Now here is a latch on the side here, and what that enables you to do, it enables you to decouple the tablet from this keyboard here. Now when the tablet is not in the keyboard dock here, the slider is all the way to the left, and that's the unlock position. When the tablet is in here, and I'll show you that in a second, this slider is all the way to the right, and if you want to decouple it, you just push it to the left. But that's the keyboard dock. There's pretty much nothing on the bottom except a couple of feet here, 4 feet actually. And what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to plug it in to the tablet itself so you can see what it looks like and how it operates with the tablet. So I have the tablet here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line up on the bottom of the tablet. You have a couple of areas, like I said before, where it actually links in. There's one, and there's the other, and there is your dock connector here. So what I'm going to do is just going to line everything up, and the easy way to do that is just to make sure that the sides here are lined up, and just push down, and when you hear the click, this latch over here pushes all the way to the right, the slider. Now when you link up the devices you get this message here. It says ASUS keyboard is not selected. Now on this device you actually have two keyboards, the stock Android on-screen keyboard and the ASUS on-screen keyboard. In order for this dock connector to work you have to have the ASUS keyboard selected, and by default I have the stock Android keyboard selected. So that's why I get this message here, and it says change to ASUS keyboard to keep consistency with hardware keyboard. I'm going to hit OK here, and now I have a fully functioning device where you have the tablet and the keyboard connected. And you can actually notice on the screen there, I don't know if you can actually see it, yeah you probably can see it, there is a mouse. Now the pointer actually disappears when you don't use the trackpad after a while, but it's always there when you're actually using the trackpad. And it's actually highlighted in blue. It's a dark pointer that's highlighted in blue. Now, right now I'm running Ice Cream Sandwich on the ASUS Eee Transformer Prime, and I actually have a video on that update. So if you're interested in that, please check the link at the end of this video, and you can see a whole host of videos on this device. Now, as you would expect, you can use this trackpad to select things. So let's go over to the Engadget app here. So I'm going to left click here, and you only have to do it once, just as you would if you would tap it. And right now it's the tail end of CES in Las Vegas. There's a lot of new tech things being exhibited out there, and I hope to one day actually cover CES in person. But this is the Engadget app here, and let's get out of this. Now you have a couple of ways you can actually get out of this with this keyboard dock. You can hit the back button, which is this button up here, and it'll take you back to your home screen. Now I'm going to go back into the Engadget app here, but I'm going to right click this time. The right click in this scenario does the same thing. Brings me into the app. Now I can also get out of this by hitting the home button. Now there's a dedicated home button on this keyboard as well, so I'm just going to hit the home button and there we go. Now of course you have your Google search on this device. It's up here. If you would like to do the touch, you can just click on it here and you get to your Google search. What I'm going to do is there's actually a couple of ways that you can actually accomplish that same thing by using the keyboard. The first of which is a dedicated search button here. So I could click on the dedicated search button and I get the same thing. But why do that when all I have to do is type? Now when you have the keyboard dock connected to the ASUS Transformer Prime, just typing on the keyboard will initiate a Google search. So let's look up Transformer. Prime. Now I have a couple of browsers installed on this device right now. I have the stock browser, the Dolphin browser, and the Firefox browser. Let's go to the stock browser. And here we go. I have a Google search pulled up on the Transformer Prime. So that's a really nice feature to do a Google search just by typing on the keyboard. You don't have to do anything other than that. You don't have to hit the search button. You don't have to hit the search area on the tablet itself. You can just type. And that's a nice feature. Let's get out of here. So let's go back into the Engadget app over here. And let's take a look at another characteristic Android button, the menu button. It's right down here on the bottom of the keyboard. I'm going to click on that, and it brings up what you would have if you clicked on the menu button, which in this case in the layout is in the upper right hand corner on the screen or down here on the keyboard. And then you have your menu options, which is settings, info, and tip bus. So let's get out of here and let's cover some of the other buttons over here. Now next to the back button over here you have a Wi-Fi on or off button. So I can click on that and it will turn the Wi-Fi off, or I can turn the Wi-Fi on. Similarly, next to that you have a Bluetooth button. You can turn the Bluetooth on or turn it off. Now if you like the keyboard dock but you really don't care for the touchpad down here and you want to do all your touching on the tablet itself, you can actually, if you want, you can turn off the touchpad down here with this button here. So you can touch that, turns it off, and you no longer have your mouse. Or you can turn it back on. The next two buttons here are your screen brightness, so you can lower it, you can increase it, or you can turn it on auto. Now the next button is really nice because what it is, it's a screenshot button. So you can actually take a screenshot on this device. Now one thing that's been lacking on Android up until recently has been an actual screenshot function. The only way to do it used to be rooting your device. But now on this device, all you need to do is hit this button, and it took a screenshot for you. And you can find that screenshot in the gallery here. And here it is under screenshots over here. Let me click on that. And there we go. That's a screenshot, the one I just took. Pretty cool. The next button over here is a browser button. If you click on it, it'll bring up your browser. Next to that is a settings button. So if you click on that, it'll bring up your settings. Let's get out of that. Now the next three buttons over here are media control buttons. It's a rewind, a play pause, and a fast forward button. And the next three buttons after that are volume controls. You have a mute button, you have a lower volume, and an upper volume button. Let's play one of my recent videos so we can actually see that in action.
Okay, this is another camera test on
So I can mute it,
Prime. And
or I can just bring the sound down, or I could bring the sound up.
Got the Android 4.0 ice cream sandwich.
Now the last button over here is a lock button, so you can lock the screen by just clicking on it and it turns the screen off. Now the one last thing I do want to cover on this is the function button. You have a function button over here and one over here, and that pretty much just controls your arrow keys here. So you can hit function page down and it's almost like you flicked on the screen. Or you could do page up, same way. You could do function end, and it'll bring it all the way to the bottom, which is function right arrow key, or you can hit function left arrow key and bring it all the way to the top. So as you can see, the keyboard dock on the ASUS Eee Transformer Prime offers a lot of new functionality to the ASUS Eee Transformer Prime tablet. Not only does it offer keyboard functionality where you actually have physical buttons, and if you're used to typing properly, chances are you're going to be able to type faster with a regular keyboard than an on-screen keyboard because you can actually type without looking, and you can feel where your keys are. But not only does it offer the added functionality of a keyboard, but it adds the added functionality of an extra battery. Also, it offers a great stand for this device. One of the drawbacks for me personally on tablets is that you have to constantly hold them. And if I'm watching something or reading something on a tablet, I don't necessarily want to always hold it. So it's nice to have a form factor like this where you have a built-in stand on the device. And finally, this actually offers a great cover for the tablet. You can clamshell it up, and you actually have what looks like a very small Ultrabook. So that's the ASUS Eee Transformer Prime keyboard dock. And it really is what separates this device from all the other tablets out there. I mean, this tablet is the first quad-core tablet on the market, but what really makes it special is this additional keyboard dock that you can get for it. So that pretty much does it for this video. I'll see you guys next time.